Sunstrider camel. Jaden will ride west and look for a man named Ariosto, a warrior monk. After fighting a horde of desert rake, Jaden joins with a Sunstrider named Bota. The Sunstrider camel, often complaining, gladly takes Jaden west. Along the way, they encounter the Tidecaller sect, who challenge Jaden to a fight for the camel. He defeats their Galecaller, proving just how strong he's become in 6 months, and moves on. Once they reach a small village known as Linaka's Gift, Jaden and Bota take a ship to Karakoram. They camp along the outside of the city, and Jaden's attacked by thieves the next morning, who he manages to defeat. Taking Caspian's advice, he heads to the Relic Hunter Tavern to see if he can find Ariosto. He trades a relic he picked up in the desert for information about the warrior monk, and encounters Ariosto in his garden. Ariosto is a Bakaneko, which means he is a yokai that can morph into a human. He is trained as a water harvester and a warrior monk, and spends the next several days teaching Jaden more madras and how to use Elder Brother's staff as a weapon, preparing him to take the next tier, which will unlock his secondary class. Jaden can't decide what secondary class he should unlock. Ariosto shows him one of his dragon meridians, which would be accessible if he uses martial arts mastery. This is what Jaden decides would be best to improve his powers. But he still has to reach the next tier first. After more training, he finally has a breakthrough and takes his next class. He also gets a new arcane card, one known as Lightstep. Jaden feels he has gotten to a good level with his staff, and departs the next morning for Mount Dawn. After consulting with his fellow harvesters, Jaden arrives by way of the dry river using a new power known as Tide Walk. Upon reaching the monument, one of 3 giant swords sticking out of the side of the mountain, Jaden is attacked by Zephyros, who breaks his arm. Fortunately, he is rescued by 2 other harvesters, Kay, an aquaseer from the Whispering Wind sect, and Alara, a stone shaper from the Sand Drought sect. They are also celestial champions. While they wait for the messenger of the gods to appear, Jaden tries to heal his broken arm using one of his meditative powers. He is unable to. He befriends Kay, who makes him a sling. Once the messenger of the gods returns, it is explained to Jaden and the other harvesters that there will be 4 different legs of the tournament, and that they will compete against themselves. The messenger of the gods reveals the names of the first 3 challenges, which Jaden later surmises are related to the elements. But it doesn't tell them the final challenge. The first challenge, known as the Tempest Trials, has Jaden traveling from floating platform to floating platform. The only problem is he doesn't know which way the wind is going to blow. He manages to use his ability to talk to water to help him, but it gets too challenging. A new idea comes to him, and he tries to speak to the wind itself. This opens up a new water harvester skill, one known as Breathbinder. He completes the challenge, and is instantly transported into a dungeon deep in the ground for the March of the Cataclysm challenge. Moving on, Jaden takes out dungeon guardians, imps, and a Vortic dragon. He's eventually able to reach the heart of the dungeon, which he must destroy before he can complete the challenge. He does so, and is transported to the Testament of the Tides challenge. Jaden, who can't swim, instantly finds himself flailing in a big body of water that is slowly rising. Using his Aqualect power, he's able to communicate with the water, which helps him swim to the bottom of the chamber to unlock a series of water locks. Once the water is drained, he's able to complete Testament of the Tides and go to the final challenge, which pits him against a Sandfang. Because of the creature's size, Jaden instinctively charges his staff using Aetheric Crescendo and hurls it at the giant wolf, which instantly kills it. He has done something similar before in a Dragon Meridian and is surprised it worked. The messenger of the gods appears and tells Jaden he has completed all 4 challenges, and he now has a choice: return to the real world with his fellow water harvesters and forfeit the tournament, or continue to the second pillar, which starts in 6 months. Jaden chooses to compete. He's returned to the real world, where he finds Kay sobbing. The half-iced Nordian water harvester chose to forfeit, and for this choice, her sectmates were killed, and she's now forced to compete in the second pillar alone. As Caspian, Luca, and Rhodes return, Jaden asks Kay to join them. She agrees, as does Pota, and they both get their Nomadwater Sect markings later that day. The first novel ends with Luca finally being able to translate some of the carvings on Elder Brother's staff. While some of it is still obscured and will need to be translated after making a print, she finds a few lines that explain that Elder Brother won the Tournament of the Gods 100 years ago. He has also left a blueprint in the form of his carvings for them to decipher, which Jaden and the others hope will give them a leg up going forward. Book 2, the second installment of Arcane Cultivator, sees the Nomad.